Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So, our narcissist. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I'm reading through all these different things that are on the internet, people describing their stories. There is a lot of narcissistic abuse out there. What's interesting though is we kind of take on a lot of the guilt. We ruminate trying to figure out what did we do wrong? Is there a way to fix this? We feel helpless. And if it's a healthy relationship, people communicate through their problems. And with the narcissist, with the lies, we don't know how to communicate correctly. We don't know what to believe because sometimes they do tell the truth. With the word salad, they get us so confused that we get off topic and we're trying to figure things out. They blame it on us. We already feel guilt, but we also feel like due to that crazy making, we bring things up and they turn it around like that never happened. They lie to us. But also in some of these things that I'm reading, people go through different stages of life. And it's not an excuse for poor behavior, but sometimes people do need to have their own time, but they should communicate that. So if I'm trying to be your best friend and my parent just died, I might not be able to come to something of yours because I'm hurting so bad. Who's in the wrong in that situation? Should you cancel your plans to be with me? Should I be there for you even though I'm devastated? Or should we both be whole enough to help each other, but also be complete in ourselves so that we can spend time apart and figure a time out to be there for each other? Because when two people are involved, you can't be in two places at one time. And we start thinking about it. Should I have done that? Should I have put my grief aside? And sometimes two people have grief at the same time. But with the narcissist, their patterns are different. With the silent treatment, the inability to communicate, the impossibility of them answering questions directly, they use that word salad. They don't answer questions unless it's something that they want or it will lead to something that they want. When things get stressful in the narcissist's life, that is when you will see who they are because they can be pleasurable to be around. But the closer you are to them, the more at risk for abuse you are. So if they're casual coworkers that you just pass in the hallway, you're fairly safe. They could undermine you. They could do things if you have something that they want, if they want your job or your status or credit for something that you did and they want the credit. But sometimes we have to be careful on, is our person a narcissist? A lot of these stories, yes, they are most likely narcissistic personality disorder, or at least 3 or 4 of the narcissistic traits. But what matters is how they treat us. And if we're sitting here trying to rack our brains to understand, and have you been through situation like I've been through it twice, and it was prolonged. So narcissists can have prolonged relationships, but there's cycles, and it's inevitable they're going to continue that cycle with a new supply. It might last longer, it might last a shorter amount of time, but the way they communicate is so toxic. And that's what we got to think about whoever we're with. A narcissist, narcissistic personality disorder, a different cluster B, a mixture, there's those comorbidities. So the diagnosis isn't what we need. That's what we're searching for. Because we're like, could they be? Even psychologists and psychiatrists get it wrong because the narcissist lies. So what we have to focus on is how we feel. And it gets really confusing because we got that trauma bond now. So we have to try to step aside and look at things almost like from the perspective of a best friend. Be your own best friend and say exactly what you see. Write down the things that the person did to you, how they communicated, how many lies they told. Did they listen to some of your needs? We can't have it all about us. We can't. But how many times were we willing to sacrifice and we wanted just a little something in return, or at least a kind way of saying no? They don't communicate that with us. And we start to lose ourselves, we start to lose our reality, we start to feel uncomfortable in our own skin, we're not sleeping right, and it's so toxic. So what we have to focus on is how people treat us and staying true to our boundaries. Because once we start falling in love with someone, we want to be the perfect wife, the perfect husband. We know how to do that. But when they throw us off kilter so much, we become that drowning victim. The drowning victim will pull and pull their savior underwater and drown that person a lot of times. And we're sitting here saying, hold on to a raft and pull me up, stay safe. But like, we're trying to do things the right way. We see a way to fix it. But when the person doesn't care, and that's where it's really hard, because it's like a light switch, like they keep saying, and it is. And they come back when their supply's low. They get somebody off the shelf. They try it out. Something's not right with that person, or something else comes along. They're searching for something that they'll never find because they're looking on the outside for what's missing on the inside. Their world is on the outside. Their triggers are on the outside. Their validation is from the outside. They have to be around people because their sources are from the outside. They can't wake up and feel whole within themselves. So they don't even know what they're searching for because they think it's love. When they get love, it's not what they're used to. So they search for the perfect love again. They probably get it from all these new supplies that are out there. A lot of these people, mine just got married. Is she better than me? I don't think so. I'm older, she's younger, I'm taller, she's shorter, I'm thinner, she's heavier. We have our differences. So you can judge all that stuff, but in I know who I am. I don't know everything about her, but she seems like a good woman. It's just a different person. And maybe she's crazy, maybe she's even better than me. But what matters is it's the depth. The narcissist, who cares? Let's say she is better. The narcissist doesn't go that deep to see if she really is better. They just keep things at a superficial level. And you think you're connecting with them when you're trying to share your insecurities or difficult past, and then they throw that in your face and they start to tear down your soul. They don't, with their inconsistencies, are causing a trauma bond. And that's why when you start a new relationship, keep it consistent and let them know what the expectations are. If they don't like it, you can either compromise and stick to it, or decide it's just not what fulfills you in your relationship. Some relationships, marriage should be for life. So if it's not right, don't stick to it. Discuss it. And, narcissists don't like to compromise. They don't like to sacrifice. And you can see a pattern with them. But it's interesting on the words that people, like I had a kid today and she was like, "You look really pretty today." And I was just kind of joking with the other teacher. I'm like, "Oh, so I didn't look pretty yesterday?" And she was being sweet, so I didn't take it like that way. But it got me thinking that sometimes whoever that person is will take it the other way. Like, oh, I finally look nice. Now I look nice. Well, what about all the other days I showed up to school? People within who they are take certain words different ways. And every little thing that we say is like us just trying to give a compliment, and the narcissist taking it the wrong way. We're like, we just said you look nice today. And that's just an example of different things that let's say the narcissist made you a dinner and you're like, oh, it's really good tonight. And they don't feel that they did a good job. They'll think we're patronizing them when we truly feel it's delicious. And we just don't know what's in their mind because, for one thing, it changes. They have selective memories, they twist things around. Sometimes they purposely do things, they'll purposely sabotage your food. Maybe like mine, it's not that big of a deal, but he's like, do you like that rice? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And he's like, there's duck in it and it's a little greasier. But I don't know if I necessarily wanted to eat duck. And he was a wild game hunter, and so he put things in my food that I thought it was burger or chicken or whatever, and kind of got a kick out of it. Also, what he would do is, like when I drink coffee, I drink black coffee. I've lost 78 pounds, so I don't. For a long time, I liked it better with cream and sugar, but I'm like, I drink a lot of coffee. I don't want all the extra calories. So he would get me like a really nice, large hot chocolate with whipped cream because he wanted me to gain weight. And it's like, but I told you I wanted coffee. And just some little manipulation tactics to where I should be responsible for my weight. And when you tell somebody what you want, I still ate. I wasn't like not eating, but they don't let you control your own body. You think you're eating something and it's something different. And they get a kick out of it. They think it's a joke, or they like to control, or they get angry at you that you're not drinking the hot chocolate. And you're like, I don't want it. I also don't have a sweet tooth. So narcissists take things into their own control, regardless of what you say. And like, as far as like that hot chocolate thing, as far as my weight, he was never happy. I went from a size 13 to a size, when I was with him, was a 5, 13 to a 5 when I was with him. And never, he was never happy in between any of those sizes. And the one time he said, that's when you looked good, but your thighs were a little thick. So they can't even give like a nice compliment. They give an underhanded one to where, okay, so I still feel self-conscious now around you. Thanks. And we have to realize all the things that they say. We're ruminating sometimes about wanting them back. We want the falsehood back, the person they pretended to be. But if we get that back, it's all just going through the motions. It's not the love. So we want the love back, but that love was never there. The actions were there, but the love wasn't. So you see these self-aware narcissists talking about and this is where it gets confusing, because actions, yes, when you love somebody, you do things for them, but the narcissist does it for different reasons. So when some of them, like raw motivation, he says he loves his wife, but then also it's like so contradictory on all the other things that he says. Go no contact. I don't want my relationship to give you guys hope. Narcissists can't love, but I love my wife because I'm being aware. It's really confusing. We'll see what happens with them. Just like somebody said in a different video about Lee Hammock, I say he's getting a lot of YouTube supply. He's adored, he's interacting. Narcissists, they'll fire back if there's hate. These guys seem pretty decent on not spewing hate, but we also, as YouTubers, we can delete your comments. So there's some power. You said that to me, delete the comment. So are they really happy, or is it really love just because now he's listening to his wife and understanding he has to compromise? It's not changing how he feels in it. I don't know. Can't always judge people, but there's something odd about the way that their discussions go, because they're like, yeah, we're empty inside. We don't love. But then it's like, I'm doing the actions. So she might feel that but that's what all of this has been about in the beginning. So do they change? He'll say narcissists don't change, but I'm self-aware and he's working on things. Is he really changing his heart? Is he changing his heart? Time will tell, but he's high up on the supply right now. The wife's still in the house. He's probably busy stroking his fame ego to where he's not focusing on cheating. It's probably a distraction. But take away that distraction and you're going to see the true narcissist again. And I believe that. Things are going pretty good for those guys. They could crash in an instant. How are they going to handle it? Time will tell. And, I don't wish anything ill on anyone. I think it's great that they're trying to be better. Some people can stop negative actions like cheating or, drugs or whatever, but it's real hard to change who you formed into. You were developed emotionally in your childhood. And then through life, we get more and more triggers. We have triggers now. We have to try to get rid of those. And when we're in our angry state, try not to be vindictive, because we're trying to put our pain on somebody else. We're trying to get back at our narcissist when we're like that. We have to deal with the pain and just set it free and stay true to ourselves. So I just thought it's interesting that certain things people say can be taken different ways, and the narcissist will almost always take things the wrong way. So it's a losing situation. And they hold grudges. They get the silent treatment. And then they come back like nothing ever happened. Do they really self-reflect? So please like and subscribe. Comment below on some things that you find different with your narcissist or the people that you know that are narcissistic. What matters is how we're treated and that we can stay true to our boundaries, because that's how the narcissist overpowers us. And that's when we start to feel uncomfortable. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. One-on-ones are available. Have a good night.